my clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm metrosexual.
Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's Wraith here, back with another video. Now, in today's video, with the Fortnite kind of average players getting way better than they were back in like Season 5, Season 6, Season 7, almost everyone you fight now at least knows somewhat what they're doing, and there's a lot more sweaty players in every lobby, whether it's just an arena game, a solo game, or even one of these cash cups. So basically in today's video, I'm going to be going over how to beat these sweaty players and how to beat people who are better than you, or who are even just really good players. Obviously it's going to be difficult, but there's a couple things that you can do to help you improve your chances and get the best possible chance at beating kids who are either better than you or very similar to your skill level. So if you're looking forward to this video, make sure you slap a like button on it, comment what you want to see for a future video, hit that subscribe button, use creator code WraithFN in the item shop, and let's get right into it. So the first tip I'm going to give, and this is a big one, is apply pressure to them before they have a chance to get in a close range fight. So now obviously some of you guys might be curious to what I mean, and basically what I mean is shoot them with your AR, or at least spray them or do something to try and stop them from getting like a foot away from you, right? Because once it gets into a close range fight, then it becomes basically who's a better box fight player. And then some people who are really good, like I wouldn't want to box fight someone like FaZe Dubs or Bizzle or Mongrel or someone like that, right? But basically something you can do is just whenever you see someone, is if they're anywhere near you, either shoot at them or either hide away or something. But if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, or it looks like they're pushing towards you, shoot at them, or at least even if you don't hit them, at least spray their builds and they'll stop pushing as much. They still might W key you, but they're going to be a little bit more wary, realizing that you're a decent player, realizing that oh my god, he's actually he knows what he's doing, he's shooting at me, blah blah blah, right? So even if you don't hit them, obviously it's still good. And then if you do hit them for even 30 to 60, maybe even 100 damage, well then you can make the decision. You can either dip if you need to go for a zone, or you can just continue shooting at them and maybe push up and be more aggressive, right? It's all up to you. Just shoot at them with your AR as soon as possible. Obviously sometimes they'll be right on you and you don't really have time to do anything, which is fine. But if you do have time, apply pressure early. So my next tip is, if you get into a close range fight, and let's say you're box fighting or they hit you for 100 with their AR or something like that, pop your minis or pop your heals, but make sure if you're popping your heals, they're not directly on you. If they're literally in front of your wall and you're trying to pop a mini, bad idea, because you're just going to keep focusing and trying to pop this mini, and then they're just going to keep shooting at you, and it's just going to go over and over again, right? And then sometimes, trust me, if you just keep practicing trying to pop mini, or if you just keep trying to pop your heals or pop your mini or pop your whatever it is, trust me, it's not going to be very good. Now, say they hit you with the AR and they're 60 meters away, then yeah, obviously you have time to pop your mini, time to pop your big pot, whatever it is. But if you're in a close range fight and they're right in front of you, just stop trying to pop your shield. I do this really badly sometimes, and it really frustrates me because I know it's such an easy fix. But basically, do a bait heal, or just try and fight them, where you pretend to pop your mini and then you edit on them or something. Because trust me, even if you get that mini off or that big pot off, if they take your wall, or if they take your ceiling, you're in such a worse scenario than you were before, even with the extra shield. It's just not worth it. So yeah, if you have time, pop your heals. If not, don't try and do it no matter what. Don't just do it because you're okay, well, I need to pop this mini. No, you don't. If you're at 112 HP, you're still decent, right? You can bait the heal and then shoot at them. So my next tip is, and this is a pretty basic one, but it's basically practice your box fights and edit early. So what I mean about that is, most good players will end up box fighting, and the best players are the best box fighters. But basically, if you're a really good box fighter and you don't miss your edit and you know when to edit, well, you can still beat pro players. You can still beat people like Mongrel or Bizzle or Arkham or whoever you're fighting, right? You just have to be good enough to do it. And if you practice your box fighting, the better you are, the more confident you're going to feel and the more likely you are to kill them. Another tip is, like I said, edit early, where basically if you just let them take your wall or you let them do whatever they want and just keep pressuring you, and then you're not really applying any aggression, they're eventually going to kill you, or they're eventually going to take your wall and edit on you. I struggle with this a little bit sometimes as well. I don't edit early enough. Like after the first pickaxe swing that they hit on your wall, you should be editing on them. Trust me, it's really good to be aggressive. Like I said, sometimes you're not always going to be on the aggression, which isn't a big deal. But trust me, try your best to be on the aggression and switch it over to them, because all these top pro players are just so aggressive and they're so psycho that it's scary to fight them. So basically, you need to counter their aggression with your own. So now my next tip, and this is a huge tip, is don't run. Like, I understand what some of you guys are doing, where like, say you hit someone, or someone hits you for like 120 and you pop a mini, and then they're like, you're just like, okay, like I need to start running, or they're right on you and you're low HP and you just try and get away from the fight, or you waste all your mats building up, or whatever the case is. 90% of the time it doesn't work. Like 80% or 90% of the time, if you try and run from a fight, which even if you're at low HP, you're going to be in trouble, right? Like sometimes you're just going to have to take it, and you're going to have to try your best to win the fight, or like just stay in a box, because like there's only so much you can do, right? And if you try and run, trust me, it will not work that well. Whenever I try and run from a fight, they always just W key you, and then sometimes a third party comes, or they just keep applying the aggression. And like I said in the first couple tips, you need to apply pressure as well. You can't let them just decide the pace of the fight and pressure you if you're not pressuring them, right? You can't just keep running or keep trying to leave your box every time, right? You got to edit on them, or you got to box up and get ready to box fight them. You can't just chill or run away all the time. So now my next tip is basically get better at fighting better players. So now a lot of you guys might be like, oh really, I didn't know I needed to get better at fighting people, right? But basically what I mean is, don't just box fight like just randos, or like don't just box fight people in solo pubs or whatever the case is, right? Like actually practice against players who are potentially better than you, if not better than you. So basically the best way to do that is find kids, in whether you're playing in the cash cups, arena. I mean, arena isn't the greatest because you can't always defer like box fight and stuff, but the best way I personally think is definitely probably through Discord. So the best way that you can do that is basically just find Discords for your region, whether you're in EU, NA West, NA East. There's a ton. You can just look them up online, or you can just look them up on Reddit or something like that, or ask your friends, and I'm sure they'll probably have some. And yeah, it's like way easier if you fight someone through Discord. Trust me, it's way easier, and plus normally they're pretty good. Like obviously sometimes you're not going to find someone who's really good, but a couple times there will be good players, and then you want to practice fighting them a ton, because the better players you're fighting, the easier it'll be, and the more likely you are to beat the worst players, because if you can deal with really good players, you should be able to deal with the really bad players, right? So now the last tip, and this is another pretty big tip I'd say, and let's say this is, for example, let's just do, let's say you're on the aggression, so, or even if you're fighting and you deal a heavy shot, or you hit them with your AR for 100 damage, or they try and take your wall and then you edit on them and hit them for 100 damage, don't just take your time and like re-edit and let them go heal or run or whatever the case is, right? Actually apply pressure, and this all comes back down to switching up the pace so they don't control it. If you hit someone for 100 damage, they're going to go back and they're going to try and heal the entire time, and then you can get some really easy shots on them, or really easy good damage, or even kill them when they're trying to run away or when they're trying to heal, or you can take their wall. Back like what I said, don't try and heal. Well, if you hit someone for 100 damage, 85% of players, unless they're pro players, most of the time are going to try and like just run and heal. Obviously pro players don't, because they're confident enough they can win with 100 HP, but the average player thinks they need to pop the minis, which will allow you to become a little bit more aggressive and kill them, or even just deal way more damage. So trust me, don't give them time, always apply pressure if you hit a lot of damage. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you slap a like button on it. Comment what you want to see for a future video. If you guys don't know, I literally always read your guys' comments. I reply to almost every single one if I can. If I miss yours, I apologize, but I do reply to almost every single one of them, or try my best. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you use creator code WraithFN in the item shop, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Have a good one, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.